Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Crypto talk with Thomas G.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including heat.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including. Got me on Navex and bought me some Joe. Farming go crazy, you know how it goes. Zuby on Phantom, I got a few notes. Sticking my rents, you know I'm gon' hold. Getting these calls from the dog pound. Buy my dot for the next round. Now I'm coming up off the compound. Got my drip off the rebound. Getting these calls from the dog pound. Buy my dot for the next round. Now I'm coming up off the compound. Got my drip off the rebound. Crypto talk with Thomas G.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including heat.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including heat.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including heat.
Yeah, dog. Welcome to, happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to Crypto Talk number 6. Crypto Talk number 6. I'm excited to do this today. We're going to do an interview with AJ, my boy AJ here from Honorverse Madness. Sorry for the delay, AJ. I think what I was telling you backstage, I've been having problems with StreamYard. I got the video. Now I can show my face on video, but we got the garage studio exposed today for the first time ever. A Doc's garage. But yeah, everything's working. Thank you for being patient with me this morning. Thank you for being here. How are you doing, brother?
Good, bro. Good, Thomas. It's such a pleasure, man. Again, we go way back. Shout out to R2R, the Dog Pound. Again, the whole crew, man. We have such a great history. And yeah, man, I'm really excited to be here. We're going to give a lot of updates on EMP, Spark Swap, and obviously Honorverse Madness, the new game that we're releasing. We had our TGE a few days ago. And so that was for Grim Gold, which is the token of the ecosystem. But R2R participated in the pre-sale, so I wanted to update the community, give you guys kind of an idea of where we're at and where we're going. But yeah, man, always a pleasure, bro.
Yeah, excited to hear more because as of late, I've been seeing some of the images from the game, and I'm like, all right, you guys have stepped it up a notch from my first time seeing something of this nature back from 2017, 18. So graphics these days, bro, it's amazing. So where do we start today?
Yeah,
Honorverse Madness, a lot has happened. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, bro. Let me give a little bit of background, and then again, as we go, please feel free to type any questions in the chat. We can get to it at the end. But for those that don't know me, again, I'm AJ Brockman. For the Docs, been a project lead in the space for we've had our own project for at least 3 years, but I go back almost 10 years in crypto. Again, I started in R2R with Thomas and Trevon James, Bartertown, all the OGs trying to make come ups, just like everybody else. And we made some great relationships with trusted developers, and that's when we launched EMP Money, which was a Tomb fork. And now we're transitioning into what we call EMP Fusion, which is a supply cap token that rewards users revenue from all of our protocols. So that is really important because Honorverse Madness plays into that. We always wanted to have a game, but we didn't want to just do a copy and paste game or something that everybody else has done. We wanted something truly different and unique. And so one of our longtime community members, his name is Julius. He is an amazing designer himself. He actually developed the original detonator video. If you guys remember that awesome video that explained detonator, and we'll talk about detonator too later on. But he approached me and said, "Hey, bro, I'm building this game," and I thought, "Yeah, right, probably just another mediocre deal." But when I saw it, I was blown away, man. So I said, "Yeah, let's do it." And so we have this now under the EMP umbrella, and 10% of all the game revenue will go to feed EMP Fusion. So again, even if you don't care about the game and you have a position in Fusion, you should care about the game because it's real revenue, feeding your bag. So we just launched our token called Grim Gold. And if you participated in the pre-sale, you got XGG, which was the early version, and now you can swap that XGG to GG. So we can go there too, Thomas. I forgot to give you that link. It's stake.honorversemadness.com. For those of you that got in early, we'll show that. And if you're new and are just now buying GG, you still also can stake to earn rewards. So that's a high level overview of how Honorverse Madness came to be. And yeah, as you said, bro, we hired a development studio out of Thailand that has built other AAA games. They've worked for Disney, Netflix, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dumbo remake. So these guys are the real deal, and we'll show that footage in a minute. But yeah, this is the staking site. Again, if you already were in the pre-sale, you will be able to go. You should have probably already staked. Hopefully, you were listening to all of our socials. So if you're locked up, you get not only do you get GG, but you also get carnival tickets. And carnival tickets are really unique. So Thomas, remember, like Chuck E. Cheese or the local arcade where you would play a game and get tickets, and then you could like turn it in for a whistle or a finger lock or something really lame, or you can hold your tickets and get like a PlayStation, the original. We have that same concept, so you'll be able to earn tickets to then buy rare NFTs on in the Carnival shop, and those again based on Splinterlands, which again we'll talk a little bit about too. Thomas and I are OGs in that ecosystem as well. You'll be able to buy NFTs that could potentially be worth tens of thousands of dollars. So it's really lucrative. We have different staking lengths, so you can do 30 days, 90 days, 180 days, or a full 1 year. And the APR is based on actual tokens. So the APR doesn't fluctuate. It will give you more GG based on that APR. So
Okay, so just so people are aware, you would come to stake.honorversemadness.com and it's the GG token. So if you weren't in, let me take a look here. I think I pulled it off screen. If you were not a part of the pre-sale,
correct.
you can just go to Deck Screener. Let me pull up Deck Screener really quick and get the contract address. I want to make sure this is the right one.
It is,
So
brother. Yep, that's it. And again, I'm glad you brought this up too. Obviously, we had a ton of volatility on day one, but if you look at the price right now, it's about as fair a launch as we could have possibly made it because even the pre-salers got in at around the prices we are right now. So we're having a nice recovery over the last day. And yeah, it's an amazing entry. Again, not financial advice. But yeah, that's it right there. That's the contract address. GG. And if you bought today, you could then again stake in those for the different time frames.
okay, I'm just plugging in a random number like $5,000 gets you close to 1.5 million. Let's say you get 1.5 million. You come over here, then you just pick to stake. Now, there's two options here: basic tier, quest for lost boot, which is
Yep,
30 days, 90 days, and then
yep, four options.
okay,
Yep, there you go.
okay. So legendary tier is the 1 year. Epic tier is the 180 days, which is 6 months. APRs are different. So you just kind of pick your poison as far as your earning percentages. Are these a locked in APR, by the way?
They are,
Once
bro. So yeah, because we're calculating the APR on tokens and not dollar value, you're getting that APR in additional GG. And for every 10,000 GG you have staked, you get one ticket per day. So if you have less than that, you get a little bit less, or if you have a lot more, obviously you get more. But this is a really unique staking system that, obviously we love, hex ladders and different staking ladders, but that can be really gas heavy because you have to literally pay gas every single stake. And then when you go to claim, it's even more expensive. So this system, again, the first time you stake will determine your unlock period, and then you can add to your stakes, and it just prorates the APR for 1 day less. But the APR is still the same. So yeah, it's really unique and again super lucrative. Assuming that these are the lows, even if Rimworld does a 5x over the next year, the APR in terms of dollar value could be massive for sure. And you can claim your rewards along the way. So obviously, a year is a long time, but you're able to claim rewards at any time you want. So you still get a little bit of cash flow out of it for sure. And yeah, that at the very bottom there is the swapper. So if you do have XGG from the pre-sale and you forgot to stake, you can turn your XGG into the actual GG token. But what's really bullish, Thomas, is almost 60% of our pre-salers ended up locking up for a full year. So there really isn't a lot of supply on the market. And if you look at the on-chain data, we're the distribution is really, really nice. All the top wallets are team or treasury wallets actually, because we didn't even mint ourselves team tokens. We bought into the pre-sale just like everybody else. So and
Oh,
the
okay.
wallet is locked in Unicrypt. Those are the tournament rewards and the gaming incentives for when the game is live. But all of those are locked for a full year on Unicrypt. So there's really only like maybe 20% of the total 1 billion supply of GG even in circulation, which again is super bullish.
Let me go back really quick. You mentioned something. You might have talked about it. I might have not caught it. You
For sure.
mentioned these tickets that you earn per day. What's the rate for the earning emissions of a ticket, and what's that ticket for exactly? I didn't quite catch that.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. So if you go back up to the top, there's a little banner about the carnival shop. And yeah, for every 10,000 GG that you have staked, you earn the one ticket. Yep, right there, perfect. You earn one
Okay.
ticket per day. And so, uh, these tickets can then be used to redeem, the from the carnival shop. And the carnival shop will be live within about 3 or 4 months. And the only way to get tickets is through staking. So it really incentivizes people to go and stake GG to get those tickets. And you'll be able to buy basic, rare, epic, and legendary NFTs within that marketplace. And some of them will be really, really exclusive. So we're getting away from, and we'll talk more about this in a minute with the gameplay, but we're getting away from the pay to win model where the only way to win the game is to spend the most. We're actually putting an emphasis on like emotes and cosmetics and different pets or a different outfit for your character. And imagine like in the carnival shop, there's only 10 golden wands because everybody's has a wand. It's very mystical. Maybe there's only 10 golden wands in the entire game ever made. It's a flex to be the one to have that golden wand in a game, and people are willing to spend to show that off. And those are the kind of aspects of the carnival shop that don't really impact gameplay or make it pay to win, but allow you to sell those items to other players that really want them or play it yourself for sure.
And just to kind of paint a better picture in my brain, and then
For
the
sure.
audience as well. When you're talking about the staking aspect of this to earn the tickets, give me like a difference between somebody who stakes $100 worth of GGG or GG versus $1,000 of GG. What is that? How does that look? The difference, because as regards to the person who got 100 GG staked what's the earning difference on the tickets versus the person with 1,000?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, we've done our best to make it as fair as possible, but if you deposited $100 worth of GG at these levels, then
Mhm.
you're earning again that 10,000 for every 10,000 tokens, not dollars, staked. You're getting a one ticket. But it is really fair because even if you're a whale and stake, you may have bought your GG at a higher price. So, you're actually getting less GG tokens, and it really rewards early adopters because they're going to earn, and also longer stakers. Because if you only go in for the 30 days, that means you're only earning tickets for 30 days. And then you have to either restake or, add to your bag. If you go for the full year, you're earning tickets every single day for that entire year. So you can easily catch up with a whale, down the road at a much smaller investment amount. Again, evening the playing field so that it's not a whale's game for sure.
Okay, because I'm looking at the math here. A little bit over $100 gets you 30,000 GG. So
Perfect.
you would get 3 tickets per day.
Yep, 100%, bro. That's the math. Yep.
Okay. Okay. So then you multiply that by 10, 30 tickets per day for per $1,000 value at this price. At this price. So
Yep.
I get what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah.
I
And
just wanted
that's
to
really
make sure I understood it because
No,
now
that
I'm
was a great
thinking,
overview, bro. I appreciate you breaking it down. And yeah, again, I mean, if GG doubles in price, then that means that, the people that were the early adopters are getting basically double the, emissions of the tickets for sure.
so essentially these tickets do have a value since you'll be able to trade for in-game prizes, which could probably be sold on the open market at some point, I would imagine.
Yeah, bro, perfectly said. So again, even
Okay.
though there's not a dollar value attached to tickets, and we as a protocol will not be providing liquidity because the whole idea is that you have to have it to you have to stake to earn, which gives a direct use case for GG.
Yeah.
They absolutely have a monetary value because you can turn around and sell the Carnival NFTs on the marketplace to anybody else that didn't stake. And again, man, you know
Oh.
how it goes. We were in Spinnerlands, and some of those early cards that, although they didn't have a ticket system, some of the airdrops we got were legendaries, and they went for tens of thousands of dollars,
Mhm.
in the last cycle for sure.
Okay, yeah, because I think what a lot of people will take a look at staking and go 365 days, but then you got to realize like you're staking during the period while the game releases, gets built out, marketplace gets built out. So in between there could be real value to capture during that waiting period, especially with tickets, which is like the cherry on top. Because if you're
Totally.
trading it for prizes, those prizes can turn out to have, um, great value. I mean, because prizes would be like an item. Are you bundling up items with cards or something? Is that how you're doing it? 'Cause I know it's
Yeah.
a
So
card game.
Yep, 100%. So, and that is going to be the next big event on our roadmap. So, we're going to be releasing our NFT marketplace and the Carnival shop, so that you can start redeeming these tickets. And again, there's different tiers: basic, legendary, epic, and all four of those that represent the different rarities. But again, once we have this live, you can claim your GG and tickets at any time. So even though you're locked up for a year, that's only your principal. So you will be able to again see some gains out of it along the way. And yes, everything that we're selling in terms of the cards on the Web3 side are NFTs. So that's a good transition into kind of how the game works and why I'm so bullish is we're doing a hybrid model of Web 2 and Web 3. So the game itself will actually not be Web 3, meaning all the on chain data, we don't have to actually build the game fully decentralized, which is a lot more work, a lot more cost, a lot more things unnecessary. but we still have our play to own model rather than our play to earn model, where you have verifiable ownership of your NFTs, and then you stake your NFTs and they appear in the game. So this is a really unique approach, and something that really nobody has ever done, or at least very rarely. And that will allow this to be much more efficient. And we're building a fun to play game first and foremost, and really going after the Web 2 audience with just an email and a username where they don't have to know about crypto. And then
Mhm.
under the hood, all of the revenue that we generate in the fiat side, whether it's dollars or euros or whatever else, that goes to support the company and the Grim Gold or Web3 side. So it's really a unique way of bridging the two audiences. And the gaming studio that we hired, they already have distribution with two other games on Steam and Netflix gaming. So we do feel like we'll be able to get to that wider audience. And it's also a way to onboard people into crypto because, again, from a normal perspective, you're playing the game normally, just like you would any other game without any mention of crypto. But once you're in the game, you understand, hey, if I actually mint my NFTs, I can own my assets. Now we're incentivizing you to learn how to take care of a self custody wallet, and participate on the Web3 side instead of forcing you. Because that was one thing that really killed the momentum of Splinterlands. It was very convoluted, even for crypto dudes like me and you, being on the Hive blockchain. You had to really learn an entire new wallet. You couldn't play unless you had that knowledge. You had to have gas. It's a big, big barrier to entry, even for people that are familiar with crypto. So we're going to go the other way where we make it stupid easy to get involved and no crypto involved at all, and then incentivize you to learn about crypto. So does that make sense, Thomas?
Yeah, it it makes sense to me. Just I'm thinking to myself about I guess how many tickets I'll earn. So I'm at the point where I'm like, let me lock in this amount of tickets I'll earn per day. Maybe it'll be structured where I can get some good prizes and maybe even capture my value that way. Because at this point,
For sure.
you're locking it in for 365 days. Longer pays better always with APR. We know that delayed gratification, but delayed gratification and being incentivized with the tickets could be, you earning something during the bull market with this. I wanted to get people kind of excited about what you shared with me too the other day, unless I'm moving too fast, and then we
Yeah,
can
bro.
kind of
No,
talk
let's
about.
yeah, yeah,
I want
let's
to
go
look at the
gameplay.
prototype here.
I love it,
So
bro.
so let's play the. I guess this is a prototype preview on your guys' YouTube channel. We'll play this for everyone to take a look at really quick, and then we'll talk about launch dates and all that good stuff. So
Perfect.
we'll go ahead and get this going for everybody. Take a look. All right. So that definitely looks like an almost completed game, if not complete. Or
Yeah,
is this
for
the end result we're going to see soon here when things
For
go
sure,
live?
bro. I know, man. Every time I look at it, I get more and more bullish. So yeah, so again, just to back up, we have already been in development for the last like 3 months. So we had about a month of what we call pre-development or discovery phase, and that is where we really sit down and we get a game plan of how the game will actually be built. All the different storylines, all the lore, all the artwork and concept art, and then over the last few months the developers are actually starting to build it out. And so that's where we are with this early prototype footage. And, we've seen a few comments of like, this is just a reskin of Hearthstone. And that could not be more farther from the truth. So we are actually revolutionizing the way the trading card game space works by having these what we call tokens, which is the representation of your characters in a fully 3D environment. So if you saw there, Thomas, you could scroll back to the very beginning of this video. You actually have a much lower perspective on your cards, which shows. See, there you go, perfect. So you can see how the background changes based on the camera view. That's because these cards are fully immersive in a 3D world. So this is something, again, we're not like, copying and pasting from other game engines. This is completely 100% unique. And honestly, it makes the visuals that much more entertaining. Because if you go and look at Hearthstone, even though the cards are animated, they're on a flat surface. So with
Mhm.
us, it's a fully 3D world. And this view is perfect too, because Thomas, see your character on the left and on the right, the wizards? Although they're low poly, again, this was just a prototype of the card play. But Honor vs. Madness, again, in the game name itself, you will enter what's called a madness mode. So imagine this exact view that you see right here, but it zooms in to behind your character on the left, and you battle the character on the right in a third person PvP combat as well. So not only are we a card game, but we're also a PvP, shooter where in that madness mode, if you win the duel between the two characters shooting magic at each other, you get a buff in the game for the rest of the game. So this is really cool because we're blending genres. We're a card game and a first person combat, third person combat, and
Mhm.
we are introducing skill into the game. So again, maybe you don't have the best cards, but you're really good at dueling your opponent. Then now you can be competitive without having to spend, a ton of money in the game itself. So it makes it really, really dynamic. Does that make sense,
Okay.
bro? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it because versus like the last blockchain card game, going back to Splinterlands, what mattered the most was basically having the best deck and then just kind of knowing what is your strongest deck to go with, right?
Right.
Like your strongest cards. In this sense, you can have a really good deck, but have a player who is just a little bit quicker, smarter, and will still have an advantage to compete versus
Yes,
those who
bro.
just
Again, man, you're
okay.
so good at making it simple for everybody to understand. I know I get a little too nerdy sometimes, but yeah, that was
No, you're good.
100% the case, man. And honestly, that makes it much more competitive. And again, if people are really getting competitive and wanting to play the game, that is what matters in terms of more users. And again, I mean, remember Splinterlands, Thomas? Just try to visualize. You know, how boring it honestly, and this isn't a dig at Splinterlands, but the gameplay is pretty boring compared to this. Like even for streamers, we're gonna have a big, big emphasis on streaming. This 3D environment with the cards moving and the camera moving up and down, that is so much more entertaining to watch as well than a flat card game. And even today, man, Hearthstone is in the top 20 of all Twitch games that are being streamed. So imagine that genre in a much more, entertaining way. People are going to eat it up for sure.
It also helps you in the space of like if you guys are targeting, which I'm sure you are, people that are into this style of gaming, player versus player card games of this nature. It
For
brings
sure.
that audience of people that are skill based when it comes to this, but also people that may not have large bags. Because I'm assuming if you're somebody, let's say, that doesn't have a lot of money, you can get a deck or two and get a decent stack, spend a couple $100, whatever it may be, versus somebody who's got, infinite crypto funds. If you learn to play the game from a skill perspective, you can start to I would guess financially build your stack, right? Based off winning and upgrading things of that nature to kind of snowball it with just your skill, not just from your financial standpoint.
Yes, bro, exactly. And that again is really driving home the play to
Hmm.
own model. So rather than what we've seen in previous GameFi projects, they operate on what is called a play to earn model. And
Hmm.
although that's really amazing for adoption, you know, it really hurts the overall economics. Again, when the rewards have to come from somewhere, and when they dry up, then now because the game was shitty to begin with, and you're not incentivized to play it financially, you don't care about the game. And so that's where they all go to die.
It's a turnoff.
Yeah, yeah, bro, totally. And what we've seen with other, even some of the big projects. So we, again, are really prioritizing that skill based and NFT ownership. And yeah, to your point, if you were to join, and play a tournament and you maybe only have some of the most basic cards, but you're really good in terms of what cards to play and the PvP dueling, you could win that tournament or at least get high ranked and then use those rewards to build your deck and become even better and better. So again, it's really a lot less about pay to win and you have an advantage no matter what. And maybe you don't really care about competing at a high level, you still would be able to play the game and potentially earn from the game in a way healthier way because you're selling your NFTs to other players, not just dumping, rewards that are coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I do like the difference and the ability because in Splinterlands, there's no way you go in with an average deck and have success on PvP. It was
For
just
sure.
like even when you know go thousands of dollars deep into it, and then you have somebody who has spent way more than you. It's like a complete disadvantage. And to me, it was the part where I got to a point where I was like, all right, I see what's going on here. Like I was playing and my deck was so decked out, like everyone was easy. And I got to the point of being like bored. Like I had an overpowering deck at one point. Like I could
Totally.
rotate anything. So I could imagine what that could do to somebody who's just like, this is not fair. And it wasn't
Yeah,
like skill based at all, to be honest with you. I mean, there was a little bit, but it wasn't like enough to make a difference to want to bring in new players to take on someone who has a beefed up deck and just beat you with just skill. Because now I'm like, okay, if someone comes whoop me and I got a pretty big deck, I'm willing to go on the market and like, maybe someone will sell it. Like, there's going to be best of both worlds. If you want to profit off this and get a good deck and play buy in the packs and get lucky and then put them on the market to make money, you can do that. If you want to be someone who plays at a high level and competes, you can do that too. But having both of those there is going to bring on more users, which felt like Splinterlands at one point just had its same user base and didn't grow for that reason, probably, now that I think of it. So it's interesting because you're going to
yeah.
need people that are outside of crypto, like wanting to play this. And,
Totally.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah, man. And you're 100% right, Thomas. I mean, that is what we learned being in that Splinterlands ecosystem. Again, I
mhm.
mean, you were an OG, I was an OG, another team member on Universe Madness is an OG in Splinterlands. I mean, we have a ton of gaming experience and we've learned what worked and what didn't work, and we're applying that to Universe Madness. So again, that's the beautiful part of how the space grows. We learn from others' mistakes and we are able to implement a much better model. And honestly, I mean, I think that that approach, that Web 2, Web 3 hybrid, is the way of the future. I mean, we saw recently a game, a first person shooter, again, a different genre, off the grid, did amazing numbers on the Web 2 side of really getting true adoption. And then they had an NFT marketplace as a secondary, focus. And again, that is the approach that I think will work. So then that is the approach that we're going for. We really are targeting Web 2. You can choose to participate with fiat. Again, you will not be able to convert your fiat into GG directly, because then we would need to be in exchange and have a lot more licensing. However, again, we can incentivize you to actually download, a wallet and start buying assets on chain, to then be able to own. So again, it's going to be a really cool approach, and we've seen success with off the grid in the same manner.
Um, I'm looking on your Twitter, this nft.honorversemadness.com site to claim an NFT. What is that about?
Yeah, bro. I think you're on the chart right now, so I don't see. But yeah, that on Twitter we're
Let
running
me
a
pull it
giveaway. I
up.
think that's what it is. I mean, yeah, obviously we bring the alpha to R to R. Yeah, bro. Here you go. So this again, even if you don't care about the ecosystem, this is a good way to get involved and start learning with a free NFT. So anybody can do this. Again, you can scroll down. It'll give you a little bit more info about the game. And this
Mhm.
is the first emote that we're releasing. So, like I said earlier, we're gonna have a really heavy emphasis on, the cosmetics and the emotional connection to the game. So, Thomas, remember Mortal Kombat where they had finishers where it said "finish him" and it was like a badass animation where you rip a
Oh
dude's
yeah.
head off? So
Oh
we
yeah.
are gonna, we take that same concept in really unique finishing moves as well. So, maybe you want one of the more rare finishing moves, and that NFT then has a lot more value because it's valuable to you as a player, and enhances your experience. Another example would be pets. So we'll have little companions for your character as well, and maybe you love cats. Well, maybe there's only one kind of cat that is, orange and red or whatever. Then that means you want to buy that cat because it means something to you. So that really drives the value and demand of these NFTs. But this one will be the first one. This is a hero emote where you can taunt your opponent by blowing blue fire at them. So again, there'll be a lot of unique NFTs that also allow you to do different things in the game and not just cards that you play in the game. So
So they just gotta click the claim now button, and there's like a
yep,
sign up process for
yeah,
this.
if you hit that, you go to the bottom. It'll bring you all the way to the bottom. There you go, perfect. You put your Discord name and your wallet ID, and you'll be given a role in our Discord, and we will airdrop you the NFT when we have our first uh, pack release. So about 3 more months.
Okay, so everyone gets a free NFT, or is it a limited amount?
Nope, everyone does. Again, this one, because it's a giveaway, I mean, it might not have a lot of value. There'll be a lot there, but once we end this giveaway, that means that only the early adopters will have that blue flame. So when the game releases, maybe that's a way to flex, that you were one of the OGs for sure. So we're gonna run this for about 1 more month. But yeah, whoever signs up will get one.
Okay, so for those that are watching, the link will be in the description of the stream, and I just posted it in the chat where you guys can click to claim this free NFT. So, description of the video, it's there under claim free NFT, and I just put it in the chat for those that are here live watching.
I love
Cool.
it.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
bro. Again, anything for R2R, bro. We all the early
Thank you.
AMAs that we're doing, we give access to this NFT. So yeah, man, that's just one more thing. And yeah, I mean, in terms of like GG and the future of GG, so it is a deflationary token as well. Right now, it's a max supply of 1 billion. Like I said, a lot of the initial supply is locked up, but once we release the NFT marketplace, um, uh, a portion of all the fees that are generated from buying and selling those NFTs will go to buy and burn GG as well. So within the next 3 or 4 months, GG will actually be deflationary on top of all the economics we already have. So again, man, we've seen success with other platforms that have really prioritized, buying and burning, and we're absolutely going to do that with GG for sure.
Perfect. Yeah. Hey, there's no reason not to get a free NFT. You heard the man. Get on there, get involved. This is like a really good onboarding tool as well. Good idea from the team because anytime you give away something free, as we all know in marketing, it increases the chance here of a new user that's going to buy at your store, which would be
Totally.
investing in GG, getting these card back packs. So
Yeah, and we doubled.
how
Yeah,
far away did you say we are from like
yeah, yeah.
first
So this
packs, games, all that?
Totally. So timeline wise, we will have our first airdrop of these NFTs as well as the mystery boxes that you got from the pre-sale. If
Mhm.
anybody contributed 5,000 or more in the pre-sale, they got a mystery box which will contain one of three legendaries. One of them is actually from that gameplay trailer or gameplay footage. Pyro Fitzgerald, he was the legendary character at the end of that video that says "Have some rockets" and fills your hand with rockets. That will be one of the legendary characters. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, all that will be happening hopefully within the next 3 or 4 months, and then 3 or 4 months after that will be the marketplace release, and then 3 or 4 months after that will be the game release. So every
Okay.
quarter for the next 8 months to a year, we have everything lined up. In 8 months, that is the projected what we call vertical slice. A vertical slice is a playable alpha of the game that will be available in about 8 months. You have to download it and then invite your friends to play with you because we won't have the servers set up. But then a full release of the game will be a year from now, and that's where you download it and there's matchmaking through our server. You can stake your NFTs. They will show up in the game to be playable. And that is again the full release. And then as we move forward over the next year after that, so 2026, that is when we start really generating revenue from the Web 2 side. So again, people that don't just want to play the game itself will be free to play, but again, you only get a very basic card set. You'll have to at least buy something to be able to play competitively. But free to play is a great model because it allows way more users to try the game and fall in love with it than having to spend 80 to $100 to buy it and then not like it. So that again is another big difference. And we'll also have season passes and tournaments where you either have to buy with fiat, or if you have GG, you get a bit of a discount by buying a season pass, and then that will allow you to earn more rewards while you play the game. Again, not necessarily more GG tokens, but more NFTs, different skins, different emotes that you could then sell on the marketplace. So that is all in the works, and tournaments are going to be super fun too. So the whole idea is that we have some free tournaments that we sponsor and give away prize pools, but we'll also have competitive tournaments where say Thomas and Bartertown put up $1,000, and whoever wins that tournament wins it all. So again, we'll also have community based tournaments as well.
Nice. So a whole lot coming down the road, definitely. Um, and I think we talked about this in the last interview about the blockchain that was going to operate the game, or how are you guys going to do that?
Yeah,
Or
man, great question. So we are again taking a whole different approach to this, and right now we're actually reaching out to different foundations on bringing the game to a certain L2. Um, we've already started that process. Obviously, that's grant money or marketing help, in bringing the game to life. So even though GG token was released on ETH will build the game and have the NFTs live on other chains, and maybe even have the ability to do multi-chain NFTs based on where you want to be. But that being said, we have the DeFi knowledge to do that. I mean, we've already built bridges. We have one of the only bridges to Pulse Chain right now, so we can easily bridge the GG token to whatever layer 2 that we pick. And then the game itself will not actually be fully built on chain. Instead, it operates on a centralized server, but you stake your NFTs. Again, just a very simple staking contract that is associated with your username in the game, and it shows that you own that card on chain. Again, proving verifiable ownership, and then you're able to receive that card in the game. So this approach is really different and makes it way more affordable and simple to build, but still has all the benefits of blockchain.
Okay. Yeah, this is going to be, it's everything's perfect timing as far as the launch. How are you feeling about what everyone feels like right now? We're in a bull market. Are we starting it? Are we on the verge? How are you
Yeah,
feeling right
man.
now?
I think we're in uncharted territory, Thomas. I mean, holy shit, bro. Regardless of your political views, I mean, can you even believe that the president of the United States was a former NFT launch?
Right.
Like, I mean, again, bro. Gary Gensler's fired. Elon is gonna be one of the top advisors. I mean, we're in a fucking fantasy world in terms of crypto right now. And I think the charts are reacting to that. And, obviously, I do think there'll be a lot more volatility. But at this rate, I think that we're under predicting the performance of what we could see. And even with the Bitcoin strategic reserve that is proposed, I mean, we could see literally trillions of dollars pouring in and really compete with gold. And that is the ultimate store value that we've seen before Bitcoin, and now the rest of the world is finally understanding that. And obviously Bitcoin runs first, but Thomas, you've been around the game long enough. As soon as we start seeing the Bitcoin dominance come down and things start funneling into alts, ETH and smaller cap gems, the gains are beyond belief. So I think we're just getting started. Honestly, I think it happened a little bit faster than we all anticipated, but that means that we're really set up well for 2025. And I've always been a perma bull, but now we're seeing all the fundamentals,
Permeable.
bro. Yeah. What about you, man? What do you think?
I think everything that's based off of politics right now. We've seen how it's structured the markets to be positive. Especially with the way the American elections went.
For sure.
So my mind always tells me like I'm always excited at the right time, and right now that everyone's excited at the same time as me, it almost feels like it's a dead giveaway that we're going in a bull market. But then I look at the corruption of politics and I go, are they going to hand this man over who they declared as the worst person, compared him to the worst person of our time in history? Are they going to hand him over the most bullish stock market and crypto market of all time at when this happens in January? Um, so I will not be celebrating until he's actually in an office,
Yeah,
because
bro.
something just seems like they're like, yeah, we're peaceful transfer, this and that, all this stuff. But it's like you guys were just saying some awful stuff about him. So what's happening behind the scenes? We don't know, because you never know what this corrupt government has up their sleeves and what they have planned. So once he's in, I think the market could definitely say it's time to go to 120, $150,000 Bitcoin. Until then, I think we have this rally. Everyone's excited, and it'll give us enough time to make it till then, because
Yeah.
it's crazy. You've seen this firsthand being in the States, like something's fishy. They're just a little too calm, the Dems right now, as far as
Yeah.
handing over power to somebody who they claim was a threat to our democracy. As
Yeah.
as
You're right, bro. Again, I love coming on here because you always have the other side of the viewpoint. And you're right. I mean, again, it's crazy. If Trump would have been assassinated in that attempt, we would be in a whole different ball game than we are right now. And that's still, I mean,
Mhm.
who knows what could happen? I mean, that is a black swan event. And now we do go down. So it is so determined by the overall sentiment and the overall, implementation of everything that, politics dictate. But yeah, bro, I mean, you're right. You never count your chickens before they hatch. And typically, when everybody's high fiving, and getting rich and buying Lambos, that is the sign of a top. So I
Yeah.
do understand what you mean. We got to be cautiously optimistic, right? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I just had my big opportunity with the meme token. I played well, so I'm like, I exited that position. I'm like, okay, me and my family have outgrown our home. I'm here in the garage because the kids are so loud. I
For
need
sure.
six bedrooms now just to be, have my own little office space because I got a lot of kids. I got 5 kids, and I go, this is going to be the time to cash out. And as I'm cashing out and getting ready, I'm like, we're going to fix this place up and then move somewhere else. Maybe we'll sell it or rent it. I go, let me just wait a little bit longer because maybe, before I get a new house to upgrade, it'll be cheaper because, like you said, black swan events could happen. And I just watched the politician came out on camera and basically admitted that the deep state is real. It's not just this conspiracy and this group of people that we talk about that are after individuals. He said the deep state is here to do this, this, and that. And he said they're not bad people. So you know that they are bad people, that they're acknowledging it, but saying they're not bad. They're here to be helpful. So I
For
think
sure.
we need him to make it to the point where the transfer of power happens, because I think it's been known that the deep state is probably the people who made those attempts. Without trying to get a
Yeah,
strike on YouTube or anything like that, it's been known like these are possibilities. So I'm scared for the guy, but I want the markets to do well. So I think we're 60 days away from locking in the bull market.
yeah, agreed, bro. And again, I mean, we know the extended cycle. I think there's too much momentum now with ETFs,
Mhm.
mainstream, hedge funds and, retirement accounts, even states here in America, putting in, reserves of Bitcoin. I mean, that is pure buying pressure that you can't argue with. So yeah, and again, I think it all happens in cycles. Obviously, it all starts with Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is the OG. But people, when we start topping out, people want to turn those gains into more gains, and that is when they start looking into altcoins. GameFi. Really, we haven't seen a good GameFi narrative in this cycle at all yet, and in the last cycle, it was even bigger than memes. So again, I think we see that will happen, and we're positioned perfectly, to capitalize on that for sure. So yeah, man, I'm still, again, like you said, cautiously optimistic. Once we finally
Permable.
see, yeah, bro, exactly, purple. I was saying this in the depths of the bear too, so maybe you shouldn't listen to me. Like you said, don't listen to influencers. We're all DeFi stuntmen. You could get wrecked, right? Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Awesome. So yeah, do we have some questions? I mean, that was really a high-level overview of the timeline of GG, why it's important to try to pick some up now. I mean, the distribution on the token is really bullish. We have very little large holders. The market cap is super low. Anything under a $10 million market cap, if it was a meme, if people would be buying it left and right. We have so much utility coming, even more so than what we already have, and it really helps to benefit our entire ecosystem. And I did want to give a little bit of update on Fusion and Spark Swap, but yeah, I don't know if we have questions about the game first, or was there anything else you wanted me to clarify?
No, I think we covered a lot. We saw what the game looks like. Spark Swap, you want to go over? And I know you mentioned Detonator because we got your best friend in Invisible and R2R yapping about you right now, and I think he's one of those disgruntled investors from back in the day when it comes to
For sure, bro.
Detonator. So maybe
Yeah.
we can give him some bullish news to love you long time again.
Yeah, I love it, man. Yeah, and again, man, no hard feelings for me. I know Invisible and Savage give me shit nonstop, but again, we're out here just trying to build, and obviously, Detonator was and still is a game. I mean, it was an ROI game. It was extremely bullish at the time, but as we know, without solid economics and really relying on inflationary mechanisms, which is what we started as EMP.money, it isn't sustainable. And so right now we're working on a plan to actually sunset all of our legacy contracts. So that means detonator, reactor, the NFTs, and nodes. So a total of five different contracts. The power up NFTs that are on ETH, those will still continue to pay because they utilize the ecosystem to generate yield. So those will be unaffected, but everything else will be consolidated, and you will be given a fair market value based on what you put in, what you have compounded. Again, we'll have a full breakdown of how we're going to calculate all this, and then your credit will be applied into EMP Fusion, and we'll do it in a way that doesn't dilute everybody else. Obviously, there will be some dilution, but not in a way that kills those that are supportive of fusion. And this allows us to get rid of all the drama from those legacy contracts and really focus fully on EMP fusion. And again, we have admitted that there is a multi-step process where right now the fusion APR is not good. I mean, we fully admit that because all the economic energy is going into recovering PEG. And the more EMP that we sacrifice into fusion, the closer we get to supply shock. And then once we're able to recover PEG and maintain PEG, then all the resources, including revenue from projects like Universe Madness, our bridge, our Dexes, all of that goes to the APR in fusion once we are able to recover PEG. So it's really important that we have that multi-step process, and that's when those that build their bags right now will be excited for fusion. And again, if you're like Invisible or Savage, you can just sell your microgrid once you're credited that amount. You're never locked into fusion. That's another misconception. You're always able to sell your microgrid on the secondary market.
Yeah, I remember showing on camera with you the steps to do that.
For sure.
Have you figured out? Because I assume he, like we were saying, Invisible is from the detonator contract. I'll pull mine up too. I compound this every day, by the way,
Yeah,
like
man, you
clockwork.
you you are, bro. You put in the work, Thomas. Again,
So
totally.
I
Yeah,
literally win probably the raffle like a couple times a week because I'm one of the ones that's still doing it,
yeah, man.
compounding. So you're gonna sunset these, right? You want to make, I guess, a peaceful breakaway from this. Like you want it to be over and done with. So do you have like something you drew up and talked about last time to
Yeah,
to
yeah, so we're literally in the process of doing it right now. Obviously, TGE for Grimgold was the priority at the current moment, but we've
Mhm.
already accounted for all the TVL of all the legacy contracts. We're working backwards from what was deposited, what was compounded, and what is left. Again, I mean, if you're expecting, a full refund, that doesn't happen in crypto. And as much as I would like to do that, the money just isn't there, and that's another misconception. Like, people think it went into my bank account or my pocket. No, this went right into paying the rewards of all the other users. Like, we didn't even take a dev fee from Detonator. So again, I mean, we have to come up with what money is actually left in the
Mhm.
LPs, and then reverse engineer the payout based on people that did compound, and we're, supporting the ecosystem. If you compound it again, you get a little bit more of a multiplier, on your due amount. So yeah, we'll have a full breakdown of the math, and we'll publish that, prior to the actual migration. But what is bullish is that we're actually launching our own DEX on BSC or BNB network as well, and that ties into SparkSwap. We're rebranding under one brand called DexSwap. So we have merged with the Dex Finance team, and so we'll have a Dex on BSC, Pulse, and Manta network, all under one roof. Where again, just like Uniswap, it will be V3 compatible, and then you just change the network that you're on rather than having to go to a fully new website for each chain. And so that is really bullish because we'll also be able to migrate our LP from PancakeSwap over to our new DexSwap DEX on BSC, and again earn from LP on that. That's our own DEX. And again, I know there was some drama lately on some sandwich bots and Mev bots. Our DEX will be fully bot protected. So it's already up and running over on Pulse, where we have been very transparent that we run our own bots to try to mitigate the predatory bots. And then all those fees, rather than going to Jared from Subway, we use those to keep rewards in our own ecosystem. And we will have a DexSwap token that if you have Spark or are in Sparkler, you will be getting a very, very lucrative airdrop of the actual new DexSwap token. So that's how we'll be kind of, merging all the protocols down into one and doing it in a very fair manner.
Awesome. So there's a lot in the works. So you just
100%.
definitely you can just move on from a lot of the things that because I remember the high reward, the 1% per day, 2%. Those were like a hot commodity at one point
For
at a
sure.
different at a dip during a completely different cycle. So everyone was like, "Come out with this," and then you live and learn. You guys did some differences with a lot of those contracts, but it is what it is. I think in general, most cryptocurrencies, let alone DeFi platforms, don't make it. Um, it's just kind of how it's been in the long run. But right now, when you look at Honorverse Madness and see how long Splinterland's been around, when you make changes to things like this when it comes to gaming, and including everything else that's going to earn revenue from it, it's creating longevity, definitely.
For
So,
sure.
there's yield to be earned. There's some fun games, some fun graphics, a lot of positive things to come out of this. And I did get a message to somebody too as well, because I think what was going on in the R2R chat right now about, with Invisible and the people that kind of been busting your balls for a while, was, hey, if I were to trade my pre-sale tokens right now, I'm not at a loss for GGG, and I've been earning right now the yield because you stake them. So
100%. Yeah.
so no one's effed over because you not only are you not at a loss, but you got all these incentives for participating. Plus, you could have been staking and earning tickets early on. So I love it, Viz. I think he's one of those guys though. Is like, I want my money now. Like he has learned what his game is, what his style is, and he's like, flip it and get your money and move on. And I think he's just moved on from a lot of everything else. But
For sure.
everyone's got a different style. I know there's all love. You guys will probably kiss and be friends again, kiss and make up.
Yeah, man, no doubt. Hey, bro, I don't have any enemies in this space, except the bomb developer. But again, bro, it's
Oh
just
no,
yeah,
Aaron.
yeah, Aaron, man. I think yeah, we go way back, Aaron and I. I know he and again to your point with the inflationary systems, MSS, TRIP. I mean, all of those are have a very very hard time sustaining. And where are people asking for refunds in those ecosystems? They're not getting nothing. So I'm not here to screw anybody. I've fully admitted that we may not get it right 100% of the time, but you can't
Mm.
argue that we bust our ass to deliver on what we can, and we're always building, and we're always coming up with new ways. Again, it's not a matter of cash grabs or being onto the next shiny new object. It's about building revenue streams back to Fusion and all the other shit that we have built. For the same reason, like again in the Titan X ecosystem, there's other things built on top of the platform that funnel the demand and revenue back to Titan X. It's the same sort of concept with EMP Fusion that will always build things to feed the mothership. So yeah, man, for sure.
You know what? I was like, what? Beefing with Aaron? But I remember Aaron actually came after EMP with Bomb Money, wasn't it? So it was kind of like Bloods and Crips
Yeah,
kind of beef.
yeah, 100%. We again, man, we want to have a friendly rivalry. We're both Tomb Forks. We both started out, and I just think Aaron thinks he's a lot smarter than he really is. But again, I mean, to each their own. I just don't agree with inflationary tokenomics, and we never saw eye to eye on that for sure.
I listen. I respect both of you guys, but here's what I take from you guys both as being builders: is we learned what happened with Drip. We
Yeah,
know that those are like basically impossible to sustain, right? So I've watched you grown from those different high risk, high rewards types of atmospheres and platforms and build for longevity and build bigger projects while still having, like your track record, people could be either happy or upset with you. It's always going to be there. I have, you know, many different things I've talked about and been involved with. The people be like, oh, F you, you were part of this and whatever it is. But moving forward, when I interviewed him last, I was just like, bro, like these don't last. We know they don't last. All right. Well, here's this change you're making. We know that change doesn't work. You actually need to do this. This was done. So, like for when it comes for platforms like that, I wish everybody the best, but you know that they're going to essentially not work. So hopefully he transitions like you as well. I know he's doing lending and all that. We'll see if it works, but they just had 2 exploits. So I don't know how many people are going to trust that, but I
yeah,
want to see developers move in the direction that you have where they're like, let's build solid stuff. You got a big game here. Big money's been put into it, the development, the teams. You guys have
for sure.
went from one team, went to another one. Like you guys aren't sticking with, whatever fits or trying to force it. If it wasn't working out with this crew, let's get somebody that's better and makes sense, always trying
Yeah,
to
no
improve.
doubt. And again, bro, I have mad respect for any developers in this space. I mean, I'm not here
Mhm.
to create drama. If we're building, we're all here to create. We're all here to deliver. Again, everything has its place. If you're able to get in and get out, and make some money on a meme or an inflationary protocol, then good for you. Like, I mean, that's gains. We can't argue with that. But from a track record standpoint, I mean again, we have never had an exploit in any of our protocols. And we developed, again, with 2 different development teams, my original developer, Jake, and now that we're part of Dex Finance, we have like 30 developers, and we're all under the same roof now. Literally 200 plus smart contracts that have never been exploited. And again, I'm not saying that things are done on purpose, but sometimes there's things that are coded that are a feature and not a bug. So just be very, very aware of that. And again, we're trying to do our best to be as transparent and just continue to build, as much as we can for sure.
Yeah, so I'm not. I think right now, I think everything's cool with me across the board. I had a little bit of issue with Matt. What is it, Hustleman Matt? Because he talked to me funny the other day. from Surge. So
Yeah.
instead of just like continuing to bash him like I normally would, I was like, I'm just gonna troll him. So R2R now has a picture of Matt as its as its community photo. If you notice when you talk to me,
I love it. I was
I have a
dying
picture of
yesterday.
Matt
Yeah.
because I'm just like, let me just troll him. Like, you know, I'm not that mad. Because I went into his chat and he kind of like was like, whatever, tough luck. I got meved on the Surge auction going out with B&B. And so I moved on from it. Normally I'd be like, I'm gonna continue to go at this guy. I'm like, nah, we're good, dude. I got your photo up to remind me, like, don't get meved. It's all good. You're a good guy. You're a good
For
guy.
sure, bro. And that's crypto, man. We all have our short-term beefs. You know, we love the drama. We get, the clicks. But at the end of the day, man, like we're all here trying to make money. We're all here
Yeah.
trying to build. We're all here trying to further blockchain adoption. And, when Bitcoin's at almost 100 grand, we have nothing to complain about, bro. For sure.
Right. We're all gonna be hugging each other. You're gonna be barbecuing in the backyard with Invisible.
Totally.
Probably.
I love it. Let's do
Oh
it, bro. I'm
man.
down.
Oh
Yeah.
shoot. But yeah, man, we're a little bit over an hour now. I appreciate you joining me today. Thanks for your patience and all that. Like StreamYard just all of a sudden is like, okay, your camera will work, no background. I'm like, I don't care. Got the
Yeah.
garage. I've been telling people like, because I've always told people like I'm in the garage studio. Hopefully it doesn't sound like too echoed, but I think it got the sound right. I pretty much I've been in the garage for the beginning of this, but I got the sound right. Now I got to figure out how to get my cool backgrounds back with StreamYard. They're like, we're gonna put up the prices and we're gonna mess all your shit up.
Yeah, bro. That's how it
They
goes. Gotta love StreamYard, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
jack up the
Yeah.
price and jack up the setup. I'm like, whatever, man. I gotta roll with the punches.
Yeah.
But yeah, brother, it's always good. You're gonna get the invite to come here later when things start to further development with updates.
For
I
sure.
know you got other platforms we talked about. With future upgrades that we're gonna be discussing. So thank
Yeah.
you for being here.
Yeah, Thomas.
Any closers anything you want to let the audience hear before your way out, or anything you want to add?
Yeah, for sure, bro. Again, much love to you, bro. I appreciate all the support over the years. Bringing the right attention to the space. No bullshit. You say it how it is. I mean, that's what I respect in a lot of crypto influencers. And again, we are continuing to build. I'll be on in maybe about another month or so. We're doing a major overhaul to the Dex Finance vaults. And again, now that we're under the same development team, I have a lot of insight with that. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Those that don't know about those are leaving a ton of money on the table. We're introducing an AILM, which again is an automated AI managed liquidity management system for LP providing. We back tested that over the last month, and it's outperforming other liquidity managers by like 10%. So again, man, really, really bullish stuff. We're always building. Keep an eye out for the BSC DEX under DEX Swap. We'll be launching tokens over there. And yeah, man, everything is coming together. So shout out to the whole crew, R2R. And yeah, I'm always available in the chat or in our socials. If you have any other questions, I'm happy to answer directly. And we have another AMA in about 10 minutes or half an hour with Corey Costa
There
over
you
on
go.
Pulse. So yeah, man, we're all over the place, and we have. I mean, Pulse is an option to release the game eventually. So we're hoping, maybe Richard Hart can send us some grant money, and we'll release it over there. So, but yeah, man.
Who's it with? Who's the interview with?
Yeah. Corey Costa. Corey, do you
Never
know
heard of
Corey?
him.
I thought you were on his channel. My bad. Yeah, he's a
I'm
big
just kidding, bro.
influencer.
I'm just
Yeah.
trolling.
Oh, I
You
never
never
know,
heard
bro.
that?
I
Yeah, you
never
asked
know.
somebody. Never heard of him. Never.
Yeah, never heard of him. No, I know, bro.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
Corey's a good guy.
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool from the Pulse Chain Hex
Yeah,
community. Definitely
for sure.
check him out on Corey's channel. But thank you everybody for joining us today. Don't forget to smash the like button, drop a comment, and till next time, we'll do it again. Yeah, dog.
Cheers. All right,
Cheers,
hell yeah.
guys.
Yeah, dog.
Later.
All right, later, bro.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Crypto talk with Thomas G.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat. mining sprees. And we're farming all around, including heat.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees. And we're farming all around, including got me on Avex and bought me some Joe. Farming go crazy, you know how it goes. Zoopy on Phantom, I got a few notes. Sticking my racks, you know I'm gon' hold. Getting these calls from the dog pound. Buy my dot for the next round. Now I'm coming up off the compound. Got my drip off the rebound. Getting these calls from the dog pound. Buy my dot for the next round. Now I'm coming up off the compound. Got my drip off the rebound. Crypto talk with Thomas G.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees. And we're farming all around, including heat.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees. And we're farming all around, including heat.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees. And we're farming